Right now it's about 10 degrees here and it's cold, and of course we have a lot of snow and ice. Now ice is the big problem this time of year, and you're probably watching this video because you've tried to buy ice melt or rock salt and you're finding out that there is none in any stores in the US. There have been a ton of ice storms in the south. Those areas don't tend to have a lot of snow removal equipment, and they've turned to salt as an alternative. They're buying it all up. That has created a national shortage, but fortunately, I'm going to give you 3 alternatives that you can buy today, likely in the same stores that you've been shopping at, that can get rid of your ice. What is rock salt, what's ice melt, or what's just regular salt? Ice melt is essentially salt with 2 extra chemicals added. It's usually magnesium and calcium chloride, and what that does is it kind of supercharges the salt. It works in slightly lower temperatures, and it's a bit safer if you have pets walking on the area. But salt is far from something that's super toxic. For decades, we've used salt on our roads and driveways without any of those extra chemicals, and it absolutely works just fine. That's the product that you'll see called rock salt or road salt. It's typically just rough ground salt. Problem is, you can't get any of those things right now, so let's look at those 3 alternatives. This is a 40-pound bag of water softener salt. Now, if you don't have any idea what a water softener is, they are part of a plumbing system used to reduce things like hardness, but they utilize salt to regenerate themselves, and water softeners have been around for decades, and this salt is commonly available at every Home Depot, places like Ace Hardware, any home centers that sell plumbing type product. But there is one problem you want to be aware of. There are a few different types of salt for water softeners. You're looking for the product that is called solar salt, natural salt, anything that says it is 100% salt. And part of what gets rid of the ice is having good coverage. Now that's the benefit of this solar salt or natural salt. These are just slightly larger than your typical ice melt product. You can open them right up, throw them on your driveway, and it will absolutely melt the salt and do a really good job. These bags only cost me $8 a piece. My local Home Depot didn't have any ice melt, no road salt, but they had over 500 bags of water softener salt. But if you do have dogs or any type of pets that are going through the area repeatedly, it's not a bad idea to put down a mat inside your house, maybe dampen it a bit so when the animals walk in or out, they do clean off the bottom of their paws. Second choice is again salt, but it's a version you probably have never considered: swimming pool salt. Now salt is used in pools to create a saltwater pool. It's very common across the country, and even though a lot of pool stores are closed right now, you might find one that is open, or even a general hardware store that has a pool section. Pool salt is a very powdery consistency, just like table salt. This one cost me $12 at Walmart, and it is available still at many stores right now. Putting this one down is going to require a bit more effort. You've really got to spread it as evenly as you can. Well, the third alternative is not great, but it is certainly something you can do if you have no other choice. Stores like Home Depot sell bags of gravel. You want to get the smallest gravel you can buy. Now, this gravel by itself is not going to melt any ice, but if your driveway is a complete sheet of ice and you don't have any other options, you can sprinkle some gravel on top of the ice. Many rocks do have a little bit of salt content on the outside of them. That may help them embed a bit into the ice. You'll get a little bit of a rough texture. It's certainly better than nothing, but I wouldn't recommend using any type of a gravel on any areas like stairs, anywhere that you're walking directly. And one last bonus tip that so many people ignore when it comes to putting down salt on their driveway: salt does not do a good job at lower than 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, there are products like ice melt that work at lower temperatures, but they don't work very well. So be aware that even if you're putting the salt on at night, which is totally fine at below 0 degrees, it's not going to start really working until the temperatures hit about 5, 10, or 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Getting through any winter storm, especially an ice storm, is very difficult, but if you can't get ice melting products, that can really be a disaster. So hopefully this video gave you a few options of other products that you can buy today in the stores you're already at for about the same price as ice melt, and solve your problem without having a disaster of your own.